everybody. This is Kara Gilligan, your personal fairy godmother from wakingbeauty.com. I am on a train in London. I am going downtown to meet with a friend of mine and a fellow Meher Baba lover, and we're going to go out to have some coffee and catch up, and then also do a networking event. So I'm really excited about that. I'm having some inspiration here on the train that I just wanted to share with you. Let me just put this into words. So I had this moment sometime last year. Okay, let me just say we're going to be talking about economics here, and we're going to be talking about debt. So bear with me while I get this out. Well, what's happening right now in the world is that a lot of people are very, very afraid because the economic system that we've been working off of is collapsing and it's falling out. I just wanted to share a little bit of my own insight on this process. It's like sometime last year that I was driving through the streets of Charleston, and I looked at this house, and it was not really a great house. It was something that probably a low-income family would be living in. It was for sale, and the price was $250,000. And I just had this epiphany in that moment, like, wow, the way we've set up reality, you know, everybody needs a roof over their head, right? But why would a house be that much money? I mean, nobody has $250,000, or very few people just have $250,000 to afford a roof over their head. So what do we all do? We take out loans from the bank to fund these houses that we live in. And it just seemed ridiculous to me, like, oh my gosh, a house is like a necessity that everyone needs. It should be within what we can afford. It's like, why does our culture dictate that we have to go into debt simply to live? And I was talking with my cousin's husband, who's an investment banker, last night about this, and about the culture of borrowing and how this has been basically created by the few that have kind of been in power governing the world. They've created a system of inflation where everybody had to borrow, like, basically to live, and it's created this debt mindset that what I feel it's really done is it's kind of keeping the human spirit and the creativity, the authenticity of our desires and who we really are and what we're really meant to do in the world locked, because we think, oh well, we've got to survive, and we live from a place of lack rather than a place of having an abundance. And we were talking about this last night, and I'm talking with him about how the whole system works, and I'm like, well, but basically it's all an illusion. The fact that America is trillions of dollars in debt, what does that really mean? It's just in our imagination. And the reality is, and this is what I want to say, the reality is that there's plenty of homes on this planet for the people to live in them. There's plenty of food on this planet for everybody to eat. There's plenty of air for everybody to breathe. There's plenty of creativity. There's plenty of energy. There's plenty of talent. There's plenty of everything. The wealth of the world hasn't changed. It's just the system that's been created has been created, I think, consciously by a few to create the mentality of lack, to keep most people kind of in a place of fear and enslavement. So, what am I getting at here? Is that, what we're experiencing now is that system, and it's like the global economic system, it's not supportive of human growth anymore, so it's collapsing. But the thing is that God's not going to let it collapse until the new life has been formed underneath it. So those of us who are out here kind of manifesting our new life blueprints, manifesting our hearts, like opening beyond our fear and beyond this conditioning and just going out there and living in the world according to our hearts, are really what we're doing. It's kind of like a scab. Like the old world system is like a scab, and we're going through what I call, and what my master Meher Baba, the avatar who was here at the turn of the century, called the new life, where we're actually creating within ourselves the new belief systems, the new thoughts, the new feelings that are going to support our light really being fully present in our bodies, in our lives, and what we do as a career. And the way that we're doing this is like we actually have to step out of the thought system, because that's all it is. You know, it's just a thought system, people. It's just a thought system. We're releasing that thought system, and and we're living, you know, when Baba actually created this period of the new life. He was the avatar who came to awaken the world and create the new humanity. And the new life period was a period of total surrenderance, where he took his disciples around the world and he had them basically live day to day, not knowing where their next meal was coming from, kind of begging on the streets, having to rely completely and totally on God, giving up all attachments, everything to the world, and just totally relying on God for their source and their provision. And they had to be really strict. Like, they had to be happy, and they couldn't complain, and they couldn't go into despair, and all these things. And he just moved them all over the world, did all this stuff with them. And what I've noticed is that the light workers, the women entrepreneurs, those of us who are here to help create this new consciousness, we're actually having to live the new life too. We're actually having to give up our security and totally rely wholly and solely on God to provide for us as we bring our messages to the world, create these new businesses, step outside our economic fears, and really, really become authentic in how we're living. So I encourage everyone, there's people getting on the train now, so I'm going to stop this video soon, but I encourage everyone to kind of, if you're struggling to really let go, you've got to know that the new belief system and the actual reality is that you will be provided for, and step out of this old world system now. Start really living your truth and relying wholly and solely on God to provide for you, because when the time comes for the scab to fall off, you don't want to be kind of like clutching the scab and going out with old. You want to have integrated yourself into the skin of the new body and the new human body, the new human collective body that's forming. And doing that for yourself economically is really important. So I hope you take this message to heart. Sending you love from London. Ciao.